Yes.
So that means your enemies of some people will not mention. By default, because of your job, you're not friends with certain people. But it's okay. Yes. So you are the right people to talk accountability. You are the right person to speak about service delivery. And you and I were just talking about how corruption, which is the biggest conversation now, I was telling you can't end corruption. I know the last time I had Sisi Kagaba here saying it's true. Let's stop saying ending. Because ending is not going to happen.
It's like ending poverty.
You say ending, but you can't end it per se, but you can
control it.
Control it.
Yes.
Yeah. So isn't that how when it comes to service delivery, how wheels turn in this country?
No, you see, I think the whole issue is, I mean, for corruption, of course, is what I was telling is that I think we have decided to positively live with it. It's no longer a very big issue. In terms of it threatens us. We are like, okay, it's there. And I think that's very, very dangerous because of it is that our growth has definitely stagnated. I mean, because of it, service delivery definitely has gone is so bad. Because of it, so many things have gone wrong. So when we look at even the new initiatives that are coming up, then you are like, okay, but I think this one is also actually challenging the current efforts in place, at least to control the corruption that is taking place in our country. So for me is just from that particular perspective that where we are as a nation, we are not doing very well in terms of fighting corruption. There are a number of very good efforts that are being made. If you look at what the IGG is doing, if you look at the DPP, if you look at the Auditor General, the IGG has been complaining that as much as the office wants to do the work, certain things are not in place.
I
mean, of course, and those certain things is not the creation of another unit.
No.
It's not. That won't help. I can tell you from the beginning that is not going to help. And even the way it has been announced, there is nothing new that can really help you to understand and say, okay, here we are. We are going to be able to do it.
I don't think a toll-free line is an answer, to be honest.
But toll-free line is that everybody has a toll-free line. URA has a toll-free line. IGG has a toll-free line. Even civil society organizations have a toll-free line. So that's not something that really we should be proud about as a nation. I would have loved to hear the president say, we are going to strengthen the IGG department in terms of building the capacity to fight white collar crimes. I'm going to give them a forensic lab. That's what they wanted the most, which they don't have. I'm going to build the capacity of the police. I'm going to build the capacity of the CID. Cases take long. I mean, look at the Katosi case, almost 3 years down the road. And we could not even get money that was stolen because of one simple thing. We could not have an audit for Katosi so that they can establish how much money was lost. And we would have done that, but there was no money to do the audit. And so we lost billions. They would have invested $1 billion to do that, to save $1 billion. So for me, I think sometimes our actions are completely misguided.
So we want to do something, but we're doing the wrong things.
We do wrong things, and then we actually spoil a few good things, a few steps that we have done.
Speaking of solutions, I remember media, there was, I think actually a few months back, where they decided to close some government agencies, merge some, and all of that, and said this will help in service delivery.
And it was a Christmas gift for Ugandans.
Okay.
Because 3 years ago we were saying, please, let's stop public wastage. Let's stop duplication. Let's stop redundancy in government agencies. And good enough, somebody came up and said, wow, here it is, we wanted it, get it.
So that's, if we're reviewing 2018, that's been one of
highlights. A tick. I'm telling you, it was one of I told the Prime Minister at one of the budget conferences, this is an early Christmas gift because we are going to, just on the spot, almost 900 billion was going to be saved. On the spot. And that in itself was going to send a signal that let us stop making our ministries redundant. And I remember even in this studio I was saying that we have some departments that are only for pushing papers, period, and you are an authority pushing papers. You can only be an agency if you are delivering a specialized service. If you got Civil Aviation Authority, they have that tower, they land and planes take off. So you can't say go back to Minister of Works. No, I mean, then who's going to do that? But if you are an UNRWA, I would have if UNRWA had some tractors and graders and they are constructing roads, I would say perfect, let them stay.
Yeah.
But if you are in charge of contracting, that's it. That's a job that a department in the Ministry of Works can do. So that was another Christmas.
Someone say regulating can't be a whole agency.
A department cannot regulate.
People.
A department cannot regulate.
Yes.
Uganda Revenue Authority, even when some people actually wanted for it to go back to Ministry of Finance.
Yeah.
These guys wake up in the morning to collect money. So you can't take it to the department that, please, when we are coming from
one department.
No, that one can't. It's a specialized. Yes. Uganda Meteorological Authority. These guys specialized. But Uganda Export Promotion Board, Uganda Investment Authority, Uganda Zonal Authority. I mean, all these guys, you are like,
I know someone saying registrations. Someone said you can't, one department can't register all of us.
Uganda Registration Services. I mean, what are we doing? Uganda Tourism Board, Uganda, maybe World Service Authority, but I would have merged the World Service, Tourism, and the Catering Institute in the Ginger.
Everyone
one, and the services will be. I mean, if you have a one-point center where all the services are being done, you are improving efficiency. We dismantled Uganda Electricity Board, transmission, distribution, generation, and then we have and all those guys.
You had about 8 agencies in there,
and you are like, fine. Can we have back our Uganda Electricity Board? It will still do the better job, and that's what we want. So that was an array Christmas.
What other thing can you point out this year that has worked in terms of service delivery outside of mergers?
I think Uganda was the first country in the East African region to score the best in terms of budget transparency, and we're the 4th on the African continent.
Budget transparency, what do we mean?
It means how open is our budgeting process. To what extent are citizens participating? To what extent can we access budget information? All this noise you see us making is because we have the information.
It's working. And it's transparent.
But if the government had a strategy of ensuring that we don't access information, it would be very difficult for us.
Getting information only from them, and that is
it would be extremely very difficult.
You can't critique it. You can't ask questions.
You can't ask the right questions. You would be asking wrong questions at wrong forums. But that has also put us at a level that as a country we should also be proud of. That yes, I can go on the website, access budget information from the website anywhere I want. There are still small challenges, but they could be fixed.
Yeah, because I was about to ask you, transparency or access to information is only useful if I can use that information.
If you can use that information, it's still in English. Some of our colleagues don't understand English.
There's so many tribes.
There are so many tables and numbers and formulas. Some of our friends can't comprehend with that. But we recently launched the Citizens Guide, which I think was also a very good move on part of government, people to be able to understand briefly where money is coming from, where money is going to be spent. I think that one also was a very good initiative for this when we are reviewing this particular year for government.
Let me ask you, in terms of budget advocacy or putting that information out, simplifying it for the citizen, because ideally you're not talking to anybody but the citizen.
Yes.
How important has it been or maybe the importance of them knowing this is where the money is, this is where it's going, this is what sector has gotten more, this is what sector has gotten less. How important has it been for the man on the ground?
This period actually has been one of the most exciting ones. Because of that, when the OTT and the mobile money came, for the first time we saw every Ugandan said, okay, guys, I think now we need to understand how this equation is.
It's the first time I had people asking, where's our money going?
Yes, because people are like, if you can tax OTT and WhatsApp, where do you put all the other money? Because they say want money for hospitals, but they say you are collecting more, all other monies, where do they put them? For the first time, people are now getting interested in understanding, corruption, actually, people are misusing our money, and people are up in arms. And for the first time, government was like, okay, I think we're causing an uproar. So we need to be able to see what we can. So that was exciting for me to actually, for me, it was a blessing.
I don't think government saw that coming. They didn't
see that coming.
Yes.
And I think it was also an opportunity for citizens of Uganda to tell government, enough is enough. Come on. Before you bring these ridiculous policies, please, we need some kind of consultation.
Yes.
And I think that's one thing that also we appreciate this particular financial. It came in a bad way, caused distortion, which is the effect is actually still there. But I think it ignited the citizens to say, okay, we need to begin to question the government. I still remember a quote on one of the tweets, and somebody said, CS Bagus tell us about the budget and we say it is their business. I think now, so for me, that one was...
it worked.
It worked.
And I think people kept saying that, okay, if you're taking OTT, I need to demand for medicine in the hospital.
Yes.
I need to demand that that road is fixed. I need to start demanding that my children are going to a good school.
Exactly.
So we're demanding for that service.
And now we tell people, please, that primary school, please, go and check it, because your money is being taken. Check it and make sure that the headmasters arrive in time and they are teaching. And I think for me, it's a good move. It is igniting citizens, and we are looking forward for increased participation and activism. And once we do that, I can tell you, that's one of the strategies we can really control corruption in this country. Yes.
But outside of corruption, what other blocks have blocked or, challenged service delivery this year?
I think one of the things is debt. Most of our money is going in debt. Yeah.
Was it 10 trillion?
This particular year, this particular financial year, it was 2.6 trillion. But it is really getting closer than what we can afford.
It's 2 point of something.
It's so really when you are spending almost that.
When big debt, we're paying off bits by bits.
Bits by bits. But for an ordinary person to understand, is that the total budget for agriculture is 869 billion. But we are paying interest payment of 2.6 trillion. So just look at agriculture and then look at how much we are spending.
Our supposed backbone.
Yes. So it is telling you that we need to control our debt. And at the same time is that when we are measuring debt in terms of our GDP, what capacity do you have to pay back? We say that we are at 43.3% of our GDP, which means that we are almost hitting the threshold of 50%, because when you reach 50%, you are in a red zone. And as such, is that you find yourself having more of what you are collecting from URA to pay back this debt, and then less money you can have to put in the service delivery. And I think we should all of us get interested in that one. Now, borrowing wouldn't be a problem, but also it's a question of how you have utilized your money. Because if you are beginning to find out that you have no capacity to utilize the loans that you have acquired, that becomes also a problem. That becomes a big problem. So, but also is that we are investing money in infrastructure. So you have a loan of 10 years, and you're investing in a road that is going to bring return after 30 years or after 20 years. So it means that all your money is also trapped there. You are forgetting that there are other sectors that can help us move this
bring the money faster.
But yesterday I had good news about that, that we are going to have more money invested in agriculture, we are going to have less money invested in infrastructure. And I think for me that one is very important. It's something I have been telling government. You can have a very perfect road, but sick people won't use it. You can have a very perfect road or power, but people are not educated and they will not be able to have the capacity to make money to utilize these resources. So we hope that the government can be able to change that. So that's one of the inhibiting factor that we are facing. That this episode we have seen that. The other important element I think we have faced is the way policies are being managed at the parliamentary level. And I think for me that's another area that we need also to look at. You need to have to ensure that all policies, the consultation process is superb. If I say superb, is that let those who are affected be able to be consulted. When you look at the way even the mobile money tax, even though it changed, but towards the end it was conducted because the committee invited more. Only two people were in for the amendment. The rest 12 were not. But the committee still went ahead and said we shall still bind by the two people. We find that that's definitely not acceptable. So we would like to see a parliament that is more pro-people, that is more listening to the people's voices, that can also help us in terms of dealing.
I mean, they represent people, so it's not like the.
Yes, so it's not
like they represent.
Yeah, it's not
your constituents must understand it first, you know, because you also I can't help you decide on something that you don't understand.
Definitely.
So they must inform, and then I think, as much as we're running out of time, but what I've heard from you is that there's been some good, which is a Christmas gift you mentioned.
Oh yeah, good thing.
You know. Stop wasting money. We're paying too many people in too many agencies doing the same job the other three are doing. So that was a good thing that was done. Of course, the budget was out. You said the process, the transparency.
Yes.
People know where their money is going.
Yeah, you can know really. If you're interested, you can know.
If you're interested, of course. CS Bag has all that information on their website. I was there. They actually give you a whole graph and tell you debt, where we are spending. So
yes.
Please take advantage of CS Bag's website and get all that information. Service delivery, 1 out of 10 this year.
We are still in 5 really. We're not doing well. When you go to health center, you go to our schools, you got a performance rates. We have.
So for you, for service delivery to improve, not just one thing must work.
It's a chain. It's an entire chain.
Good schools, good hospitals, good roads.
Yes.
Everything must work.
Must work really for us.
That puts us at 5 still. Thank you so much, Julius Mkonda, the Executive Director of CS Bag, this morning for your time. We're reviewing 2018, more of course in the next days that are coming. That's it for Morning at NTV. Good morning.
Watching Morning at NTV.
Spark TV presents the Spark TV Mega Festival on the 1st of January 2019 at the Uganda Museum. Come get a feel of the best stage performance.